What's going on, everyone? Today we have to cover Bitcoin. As you can see, we're at 65.5k here. We've been going down in the last 24 hours on Bitcoin, and we went all the way from 66.8k all the way back down to where we are now at 65.5k. So I want to talk about where I think Bitcoin is about to go next. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None is financial advice, but let's get straight into it. So what basically happened here, Bitcoin went through a ascending triangle, right? I know I haven't made videos on Bitcoin in a while, but I mean, I've been talking about it the whole time within the Crypto and Options Edge group. And no, this isn't promo trying to tell you to go in and join the group. I'm just saying, this is where I've been talking about Bitcoin a lot lately, because I kind of forgot about Bitcoin for the channel. But like I was saying, like, we are going through an ascending triangle, and ascending triangles, believe it or not, can actually go either way. They can go to the upside or the downside, right? It could have continuation up or continuation down. That's just how ascending triangles are, right? Either way it can happen, right? So that's pretty much what we're seeing right now inside of Bitcoin. We're seeing that ascending channel, not ascending triangle, right? So this is the daily chart here. I'm gonna first show you the percent R trend exhaustion here. As you can see here, the percent R trend exhaustion is overbought, right? Typically, when you have the short-term trend way past the long-term trend, you typically have a pullback, right? A big pullback. And that's what I was expecting here for this. Now, the last one actually grinded up, right? The last one, when it peaked out, it just kept grinding up, and up. So that's what I'm watching out for here. I'm watching out to see if this also continues to grind up as the short-term trend stays bullish, right? If the short-term trend stays overbought and then the long-term trend is just grinding upwards, the price is going to keep climbing and climbing and climbing. Why? Because that's exactly what happened last time. That's what happens when you see the percent R trend exhaustion do that, right? And this was the bear flag that we formed a while ago, right? Now, if we look at what we're doing now, you could kind of you could try to attribute it to that. Like, it kind of looks like the same thing, right? It kind of has some of the same attributes, right? Now, for this one, though, this is an ascending channel, and it's not a bear flag, right? We already know that bear flags are bearish, right? Ascending channels, on the other hand, they can either be bullish or bearish, right? They can do either or. Now, we also have the MACD on the daily chart, and the MACD is slowly but surely showing some buying pressure, but it's slowing down. So I'm waiting for this buying pressure to pretty much completely stop, but it's moving up slowly, or it's moving down slowly. So also, when I'm looking at the daily chart here, I'm pretty much looking to see if we pull, but we already touched 65.4k. I'm looking to see if we hit 64.4k, right? I'm seeing that if we come back down here to the bottom of this ascending channel, which actually is around 63k, which is the same area that our 50-day moving average is at. So I'm trying to see if we're going to end up going down even further, right? So let's see if we go down further there. Again, I'm not here to predict the market. I'm here to react, right? I'm a trader. Traders react. We don't predict. So if you want me to tell you whether it's going up or down, I can't tell you that. It can actually go either way. I'm just here to discuss the likelihood of each direction, right? And currently, this is the weekly chart. So personally, I think the likelihood is it's leaning a little bit bearish, but it's also leaning to the upside, right? A lot of people are like, "Oh, he's just saying it's gonna go up or down." Click off the video. Never watch my channel again. Literally, never watch my channel again, because this is always what it's always gonna be. It's always what it's always gonna be. Okay. All right. And what I'm also saying over here, this is bullish divergence right here on the MACD. Bullish divergence, higher lows on the MACD while getting lower lows on the chart. This is clearly bullish divergence on the weekly, right? But if we create another higher low, that means we get more selling pressure and we create another lower low on the charts, right? So that is also another possibility. But the way it's looking, buying pressure is coming in right now, but it's a small amount of buying pressure on the weekly chart. So if we get a little bit more buying pressure again, then it could push up higher. It could continue to push higher. It could honestly actually push up even up to the 68k resistance. And then we have the 200-day moving average on the weekly chart at 73k. So just know that that is in the books still, right? It's still possible. If you look at what happened the last time, this thing went all the way from 60K all the way up here to 82K, right? That was the first, that not the first, but that was the second relief rally of this bear market, right? The second major relief rally, right? We had the first major relief rally back up here in this November, December, January, and then the next relief rally February up to May, right? That's pretty much what that relief rally did. That was from 60K up to 80K, which was a 36% rise, right? That was a 36% rise. Now, if you look at what we are doing now, we just now pushed up 15%. If we were to push up 26%, it would go up to the 200-day moving average at this area here, 72K, which I don't believe that's going to happen right now, right? I think eventually we're going to end up pushing there, but not right now. Now, this is the percent R trend exhaustion. It's pretty much almost at that oversold area, but it could pull down even further into the oversold area. And that's pretty much what I'm watching out for. I'm watching to see if we pull down even further into that oversold area, right? Now, we already talked about the daily chart, right? We talked about the weekly chart. We can go even further and talk about the monthly, right? And now when you're looking at the monthly, let me take off all the drawings. When you're looking at the monthly, we're actually bouncing off the 50-day moving average on the monthly. So I still think 73K is still in the books. 73K is still in the books. We're not out the woodworks yet because, like, again, it could get up to 73K or 72K, 73, and then it could end up dumping from there. But yeah, we are at a good support at that 50-day moving average. So that's good. Last time we did that during the last cycle, we only very briefly went below it, right? We briefly went below it, and then we had and then we continued up, right? That was the last cycle. So this cycle is still a possibility that we could pull back below the 50-day a little bit. Like I was saying, I've been saying 50K the whole time, 50K Bitcoin. So maybe we pull back a little bit below, and that's also where that major support is right there. Major support from August of 2024. And then if you look back here, the 2022 bear market, when it finally bottomed out in 2023, it bottomed out the same exact place where the 2018 bull market topped out, or the 2017 bull market topped out at. The same exact level that it topped out at, that's where it bottomed out here. I want you guys to look here. Where have we topped out in this previous market? Well, we topped out at 68K in the 2021 bull market, right? 68K. That's where we topped out. But that's just the wick. If we're looking at the actual candlestick, 61K. So technically, right now could be the bottom. It's a possibility. But I'm looking at this support right here, this 50K support. That's where I believe that we might go to. But yeah, that's just for reference so you guys can understand what's going on here. A good amount of selling pressure here on the monthly. The percent R trade exhaustion hasn't yet went all the way down to the oversold area, but it's working its way there on the monthly. And let's go ahead and look at this 4-hour chart now. So on the 4-hour chart here, you can see that we're pretty much overbought, right? Overbought on the percent R trend exhaustion. We're coming down now right there. And then if you look at the MACD, then you're going to see that we're building bearish divergence. Bearish divergence is higher highs on the chart while getting lower highs on the MACD. If you look here, this is the first high on the MACD, and then we should be creating another lower high on the MACD, which should create another higher high on the chart. Exactly what we've been doing the whole time here, literally. So if we come over here, if we are to pull back down, I think that we pull back down to the 50-day moving average, which currently is at 64.5K on the 4-hour chart. But if we do that, then there is still that possibility that we still have that bearish divergence and that we still create the higher highs on the charts. So again, I feel like if we pull back to that 50-day, we're going to end up pushing up higher. And that's just how I feel right here, that we're going to end up pushing up possibly to even 68K resistance up here eventually. But we'll see. We'll see if we push back down, pull back down to this 50-day moving average. and then eventually possibly pulling back down to the bottom of this channel. But we'll see. It did do that every single time previously, but it created new highs every single time previously as well, right? So I don't know if this one will be any different. There's a possibility that if it does it, it pushes up higher, gets to 67K, breaks out, goes all the way up to 68K resistance up here. Well, really 69K resistance. So it's a possibility. It's a possibility. I'll keep you guys updated on that though. But moving on from this, let's talk about some user sentiment, what other people are talking about, right? This guy, Pepetso, says Bitcoin roadmap for the Q4 2026 still on track. The July fake out is 90% done. So he's saying there's a fake out in July and it's playing out right on schedule. That's what he's saying, right? He's saying July fake out almost finished, and then August it flushes down into 60K. And yeah, like I was saying, I do believe we're gonna have lower lows here. But first, I do believe that we're gonna continue to trade through his channel before or until it happens, right? That's pretty much what we did the last time, right? We played through that whole bear flag, hit the top of the Fibonacci, hit the 50-day moving 200-day moving average, and then continued to dump from there. And if you look at what we're doing now, it's kind of similar. We're going through this whole channel, but eventually it's going to end up dumping, right? Whether it pumps to 69K and then it dumps, I don't know. We'll see. But eventually, I do believe it'll end up dumping. The percent R trend exhaustion does look like it wants to pull back here. So I'm waiting for that. But it is grinding upwards as well. So you got to keep your eyes peeled out for that one. But yeah, it does seem like we've been having a nice pullback. We'll see how far this thing pulls back. But yeah, I do think July is probably the fake out area, right? And then flush it down to 60K in August. That's what this guy is saying. Relief bounce that traps the early bulls. And then the second leg down to 50K in October. That's what he's saying. November, cycle bottom prints. December, new cycle begins. So that's what this guy is saying. Well, we'll see, because everyone has a difference of opinion. Then you have your bulls, right? This guy, he's a bull. He says breakout, and he said breakout above 67K, and then he's going to add it back into his long 69 to 70K. But remember, that is major resistance. That's major resistance, right? So he's trying to get in at the major resistance, which you should be very careful for. We're not trying to predict what's going to happen. We're not waiting till that happens and then predicting that it's going to keep going. I'm reacting. When it gets up to here, I'm not just going to long it just because it gets to 69K, right? Me personally, I need confirmation. I need to see us get above the 200-day moving average at 73K, right? If we can get above this 200-day moving average around 73K and then continue to break out, all right, now I'm bullish. But till then, I'm not bullish, all right? This is all I got for you guys today. Definitely hit the like button, subscribe. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. Check out the link in the description for the Crypto and Options Edge group if you want to go ahead and join that. And then you can also check out Advantage5, best DeFi perps trading on the base platform. You can do up to 70, or you can do up to 500x leverage on Bitcoin with 0 fees, right? And then if you do the 75x leverage and below, then you'll have fees, but you can get 15% up to 15% off those discount fees if you join through the link in the description and use my discount code Marcellus, which it will print out for you automatically if you click the link in the description. So go ahead and check that out, link in the description, and do some perps trading on Bitcoin and other stuff, right? Shout out to you guys. Again, I'm not a financial advisor, and none of this is financial advice. As always, I'll be back with another video.